Skimstone is designed to mix with your imagination. Our decorative finishing system provides an organic, textured look that's extremely durable, indoors and out. 18 colors, 90 shades, unlimited possibilities. Skimstone is an exciting alternative to traditional flooring and can be used to transform new and existing concrete floors into functional works of art. Skimstone is versatile. You can create thousands of distinct looks by mixing and combining colors and application techniques. Easy to use. Skimstone offers the most user-driven color control on the market and is easy to mix or apply. Economical. The average product cost is about $1 per square foot, including the sealer. Unique. Because of its exclusive color selection and appearance, Skimstone allows you to produce one-of-a-kind finishes. Skimstone is quickly becoming the contractor's product of choice when planning new construction or remodeling. The ideal substrate is porous, free of sealer, grease, or foreign matter, and has the feel of about a 180 or 220 grit sandpaper. For concrete surfaces that are too smooth, the ideal method for floor preparation is diamond grinding. Besides removing all contaminants, diamond grinding promotes mechanical adhesion. If mechanical prep is not feasible, you will need to apply a coat of Skimstone bonding primer. For more information, please go back to the main menu. Whether you do diamond grinding or use the bonding primer, you can decide if your floor is ready to apply Skimstone by performing a simple test for porosity. Pour a small amount of water, 1 to 2 teaspoons, on the surface. If the floor changes color immediately and absorbs the water, it is ready to absorb Skimstone. In large areas, be sure to test several spots on different parts of the floor. Acid etching is never recommended prior to applying Skimstone on a floor. Small non-structural cracks can add elegant marbling and veining to your floor with no additional prep work required. For directions on filling or repairing large cracks, please refer to the Skimstone instruction booklet. Once you have determined your floor is ready to accept Skimstone, clean the area using a blower or broom and a shop vac. All surfaces must be clean, dry, and free of dirt and debris, oil, grease, cleaner residue, or other contaminants. Start by filling a 5-gallon bucket 3/4 of the way with water. Throughout the job, you will clean all of your tools in this bucket. Before mixing Skimstone, choose which color or colors will be used and measure the area to be finished. Use the Skimstone instruction booklet or the Skimstone online calculator to determine the amount of product needed. You will want to tape the edges of the floor or trim before applying Skimstone. Protect the mixing area with a plastic sheet if you are mixing on the floor that you are going to finish. Be sure to wear protective gloves when working with Skimstone. A dust mask is also recommended when mixing the Skimstone white powder. Roll the Skimstone white powder bucket around a couple of times before opening, since components may have settled during shipping. Rolling is suggested versus shaking. This will help ensure ideal product viscosity. Stir the color packs thoroughly before using to ensure color consistency. The Type 1 solution also requires stirring. Measure out the correct amount of Type 1 solution for the first coat into a clean mixing container. Then add the desired amount of colorant to the Type 1 solution and stir until all of the colorant is completely dispersed. Finally, Add the required amount of white powder in small increments to your tinted Type 1 solution. A drill mixer is recommended when working with large quantities. A word of caution: once you add white powder to your mixture, you cannot add colorant to it. Failure to mix the components in the proper order will result in color streaks on your floor and an unworkable mix. Begin in one corner of the room and work towards an exit. Start by pouring a small amount of mixed product onto the floor, about 1/2 to 1 full cup. Keeping your trowel at a 45-degree angle, use a figure 8 or rounded motion to spread your product. Avoid applying Skimstone with the typical rainbow movement commonly used when finishing concrete. This creates a pattern that becomes obvious as the product dries. By varying the amount of product on each pour, you will be able to control the surface area covered. This will add to your final textured look. Your first coat of Skimstone should be applied thin enough for the concrete to show through in places. You want to fill in any existing texture on the surface without creating excessive film thickness or completely covering the surface with Skimstone. It is nearly impossible to keep a wet edge. Incorporate your dry edges into Skimstone's naturally textured look by leaving random curved edges rather than straight angular ones. This is especially true when working away from a wall. Each new pour should allow you to work into your dry edge by varying degrees, which also adds to your final look. As you spread Skimstone, it will begin to thicken up on the floor. Use your trowel to pick up the thick product. Return the thickened product to the bucket and stir it into the wet mixture. Stir your product periodically to ensure color consistency. Trowel out any drips or runs. Unattended drips will seep into your surface, leaving a circular dry spot. Rinse your trowel between coats to keep the product from hardening up on the trowel. Once the first coat is dry, usually 1 to 2 hours depending on weather and humidity, check the floor and eliminate any raised or rough areas using a trowel or a piece of fine sandpaper. Vacuum or sweep the floor again to get rid of any little pieces of grit that may be on the floor. Measure and mix the product for a second coat. Be sure to mix the components in the correct order. First, mix the color pack tint into the Type 1 solution. Then add the white powder. The mixture for the second coat will have a thinner viscosity than the first coat's mix. Look at the layout of your floor and decide the direction you will work in. Start in a different corner or side of the room than you did on your first coat. This will allow your trowel angles to go in different directions. Pour out 1/2 to 1 cup of product on the floor. Keeping your trowel at a 45-degree angle, work the product across the floor using a figure 8 or rounded movement. Trowel out any drips, runs, or puddles to avoid ugly stain marks. The translucency you get between coats helps add to Skimstone's textured appearance. The second coat will go down slightly thinner than the first coat. Begin in a different part of the room and follow all of the steps from the second coat. To avoid lap lines or dry edges, work the third coat across the room as tightly and quickly as possible. This will allow for maximum translucency. All 3 coats of Skimstone can be applied in one day. Alternately, there is no recoat window as long as the floor is kept clean and free of debris or contaminants. Once the third coat is dry, Smooth out any raised or rough areas using a trowel or fine sandpaper. Allow the floor to dry a minimum of 8 hours or overnight before applying sealer. Since the floor is not fully cured, we recommend removing your shoes or wearing shoe covers or socks so as not to stain or scratch the floor. Sweep or vacuum any dirt or grit that may have gotten onto the floor. Start in one corner of the room and work towards an exit. Gently rock the protective sealer container back and forth. Shaking is not recommended as it could induce air into your clear finish. Pour a cup of protective sealer onto the Skimstone surface. Use a clean Padco paint pad or T-bar applicator and immediately begin spreading the sealer in a random motion. The paint pad applicator may be used with or without an extension pole. Keep adding sealer and spreading thinly until the entire surface is covered. Be careful to avoid dry edges, streaking, or puddling of the sealer as you work. When finished, allow the surface to thoroughly dry, about 1 to 3 hours, again considering the temperature and humidity. If you plan on reusing your pad, place it in an airtight plastic bag, or rinse thoroughly before storing to prevent the pad from streaking subsequent coats. To test for dryness, place your hand on the surface and make sure the floor does not feel wet or damp. Look around for wet spots on the floor. Make sure the floor is free of debris and then proceed with the second coat. Apply the second, third, and fourth coats of sealer the same way you applied the first coat. Subsequent coats may require longer dry times. For interior applications, 4 coats of Skimstone protective sealer are recommended to achieve a beautiful textured appearance. Please refer to the Skimstone instruction booklet for information on exterior sealers and commercial grade top coats. For newly finished Skimstone floors, use them with care for the first 7 to 10 days. You can generally walk on the floor the next day, but the more gentle you are in the initial curing period, the more satisfaction you will get from your floors for years to come. Regular cleaning should be done with the Skimstone Floor Cleaning Kit to give your floors lasting beauty. For detailed maintenance and care instructions, please visit our website and refer to the Maintenance Data Sheet PDF. Skimstone, the easy-to-use, one-of-a-kind finish which provides more design options and colors than your imagination can create. You will quickly discover the unique versatility and creative design elements of this beautiful finish. For more information and application tips, visit our website at www.skimstone.com or call us at 800-444-7833. Skimstone is a registered trademark, a division of the RUDD Company, a manufacturer of quality coatings since 1912.